Hello and welcome. What the fuck? We'll just restart that. Here we go. Hello and welcome to Three's a Crime, a true crime podcast. I'm Tori.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Lindsay.
And that's our intro.
Here we are professional podcasters.
We're podcasters, bitches.
To wrap her up, I have deep depression and anxiety, and I'm finally, after like 10 years of being on the wrong meds, I'm on the right ones with right dose. I try to keep the thought that our feelings aren't truth, but our body feels them as truth, no matter what has happened.
That's a good way of putting that. So will you say that one more time?
I try to keep the thought that our feelings aren't truth, but our body feels them as truth, no matter what has happened.
Right.
So whether you're allowed to show these feelings or not, we still have them. We're human beings, and we don't give ourselves enough credit. That the walk is fucking hard, but we're still putting one foot in front of the other. Right. So like me just being able to sit here and tell you a story is one step away from me probably isolating myself and hiding. So pain and depression and anxiety are the worst kind of muffin mix. Mm-hmm. But by trying at least once a day to take one step forward, you are making progress. Little steps add up.
Would you go to the suicide forest? I absolutely would.
I think I would. I don't know if I could go in far.
I wouldn't go in at night, but I would definitely go.
Yeah. I mean,
I would go to leave flowers and honor the dead for all of those people that felt that was their only option. But I would not go there as a tourist attraction to be like, ooh, I went to the suicide forest.
Well, I was thinking too, besides the terrible things that happen there, it's a beautiful place. Yes, it's incredible.
It's very pretty.
I mean, people tour it because it's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Right. You know? And they just happen to know that bodies are part of the beautiful place.
That's true. And one of the entrances, there's a restaurant.
Wow.
There's all these vending machines with really cool shit. But they said a lot of the times, the meal that a person has at that restaurant is their last meal.
Oh my God.
So it's just Jesus Christ.
On a flip side, because I am sort of pro assisted suicide, especially for people that have terminal diseases. We do it for, this is my personal, I'm not speaking for these two. We do it for our animals. And sometimes I think for some people, the mental anguish that they are under is equivalent to a terminal disease. So so on one hand, I'm kind of like, well, some of these people, they went out on their own terms in the way that they had decided to go out. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, with mental illness versus a terminal disease, there is help.
Yes.
There is help that you can come back from it.
This is all based on not acknowledging who we are,
right, and not giving yourself that grace, and not feeling not like allowing, we're able to talk about our problems and our issues and our mental health. And you know what I mean, the United States, we're more open about it, and I think it's getting better,
especially after COVID. It became more of a conversation.
Well, because so many people are struggling with their mental health in this pandemic. But there is still a stigma.
Yes.
And so like, we're not, like, we may be a little bit better, but there's still issues here. And I think there's still, like, we here in Spokane have seen an astronomical, I feel like, amount of suicides this summer just on the Maple Street Bridge. To the point where, like, people are talking now about, like, do we need to put netting? And, well, you can't put netting under it because that's a historic bridge and they're not allowed to. And I'm like, if people are dying, I think we can do whatever the fuck we want.
If they want to kill themselves, they will really find a way.
Right. But, so here's the argument, though, that I was witnessing, and kind of how I feel is, like, yes, if people are really driven to commit suicide, yes, they'll find a way. But how many people could be saved by that, getting there and being like, well, shit, I'm not going to be able to do it here. Yeah. Does that moment cause them to stop and think? Because when you watch survivor stories of people who have tried to commit suicide, like 9 out of 10 of them say that their first thought is like, oh, fuck, like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's sometimes the difference between the act being committed or not is that pause.
Yeah.
And so, like, is that going to save everybody? No. But does that mean we don't try?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we don't give them we don't give them a chance.
Right.
And it's so taboo to do in Japan to have feelings.
Right.
So and here too,
it's
still very has a stigma. Like, if you're bipolar, people think like you're it's just like, it's not.
Well, that was like today. I was having a hard morning this morning and I was not pleasant, and I got here and Emily said something and I clapped back.
She clapped back pretty intensely.
I did. And then I went into the bathroom and cried. But I mean, but that is the truth. Like, but I actually, since my dad passed away, like, I don't cry often. And if I do, fuck no, I'm not doing it in front of other people because it feels very raw and very exposed and private.
Vulnerable.
And, Lindsay and I actually, because I don't like the vulnerability. Not good in that realm. But Lindsay and I had actually taken like a, what do you call that? Like a course.
Oh.
When we did. Anyway, so one of the things that we did in the course is, so we were doing a lot of like internal work, and she was like, okay, like, emotions are going to come up and you guys are probably going to cry.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, please do not like try to comfort the other person.
I forgot I have blocked this out because it fucked me up so much.
Yeah. But I get what she's saying in that, because when we cry, our first instinct is to say, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry that I am making you uncomfortable with my show of emotion. It did not feel natural to not want to comfort the person.
Yeah.
It did not feel natural to not be like, oh my God, like, it's okay. I'm here for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was like, just let the person cry. Like, don't say anything. Don't,
That is like my worst fear, is for you to physically touch me and say like, oh my God, it's going to be okay. Like that, if I was crying and you did that, I think I would have to like leave. Anybody. Anybody.
Especially
Tori. But I like the idea of someone addressing me crying and like wanting to help makes me so incredibly uncomfortable that I like, you'll probably never see me cry.
Well, and when I was about to cry earlier and she tried to give me a hug and I was like, don't touch me. And I shouldn't have to, but it's uncomfortable for me to show emotion in front of other people.
True.
Like,
I've been
that
trying
level.
to work on that, so I just cry.
Yeah.
I was watching the 7 Good Days trailer and I showed it to Michael and I started crying in the middle of the trailer, and 4 Good Days.
Oh, 4 Good Days. Sorry,
that's what I meant.
That movie is very good. But
when I was sad. I was halfway through the trailer and I just started crying, and my immediate thought, and it was like, I was trying to keep it in, and as soon as it fell, I went into the bathroom for like 5 minutes, and then I came out, and then like 2 weeks ago, I had to be like, I feel like I should tell you when I got up, because my therapist was like, that's something that is like, okay, like if you feel like you're going to start crying,
you need to
let yourself cry and find someone who's safe to do it in front of, and your husband is gonna be that.
Well, and I know that you two are safe to do that in front of.
Right.
And
you just got to find your people that are safe to do it.
But I still didn't do it in front of you. I still went into the bathroom.
I think the more and more we do this and bond, the more we'll just become not. Yeah, I mean, I think the vulnerability will.
There's a lot of things like, one of the things that we've talked about this that I really love about Emily is that she is just like, I don't give a fuck if you like it or not. I'm me, and like you can take it or leave it. I love that about you, but not on the vulnerability level. Like you and I think are very similar in that's like nope, I'm good. I got it. Because I have spent my entire life.
Well, yeah, I've spent my whole life crying in the bathroom at
defense
my work.
mechanism.
Right. Well, and in fact, as I think about it, that's kind of what happened to you this morning when I sort of did my clap back is I have a tendency to like suppress and suppress and suppress. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden it just kind of erupts like a volcano where it's just like,
oh yeah.
And then the dragon goes back to sleep.
Well, yeah, sometimes the other night, I have a full-on, breakdown scream. I, screamed and, was just frustrated with myself with all the pain stuff. And it felt wonderful after, but it's still,
it's incredibly cathartic.
Yeah, it's hard for Bren because he doesn't know what to do. There's nothing he can do but just be there. So it's just, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
But...
And so I think discussions like this are really helpful. And if we had more of this and allowed ourselves to be more vulnerable, then we wouldn't maybe need to go to the suicide forest.
Yeah.
Well, and I also want to say one more thing. I'm just going to throw it out there because I just give no fucks. Someone who I used to love very much who thinks that mental health is fake. And I want you to know that if you think that, you can suck my dick. Yeah. Honestly, fuck
the
you.
Biggest...
and if somebody tells you that or tries to make you feel like you talking about your mental health or the feelings that you are having are not real, you tell that person to go fuck themselves and you cut that person out of your life.
My best friend of 10 years told me that I was too much to handle because after my house burned down, I was too emotional and couldn't handle my mental health. So. I'm just going to put this on the internet. Fuck you.
I give a double to that person as well.
You.
Sometimes it takes a long time.
Oh, it's taking much longer. Same with my fire. Also took. I'm still fucked up from my house fire. And
how could you not be?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know that that's something that you ever get over. Our muscles retain muscle memory. We retain those hurts as well.
They live in our body.
They do
live in our body.
Yeah.
If someone in your life is not able to handle you at your worst moments, then they do not deserve to handle you at your best.
This is a white woman Instagram moment because I do not I do not know if this quote is really attributed to her.
Is it
but it's always attributed to Marilyn Monroe that it's like, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best.
Yeah.
That's the tagline for this episode.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah. So I love you.
Yes, we love you.
We love you.
You are important to us.
Yes. And if someone hasn't said that to you, please take it as true.
Yeah.
I love you and you're doing your fucking best, which is more than enough.
You're doing great, sweetie.
We love you.
We do.
Remember who you are and what you represent.
Yeah, remember who you are and what you represent.
And what you represent is someone who is very, very loved.
And worth it. You are worth it.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. We put out new episodes every single Wednesday, and if you're impatient like me, be sure to become a Patreon where you can get your episodes early each week. For as little as $2 a month, you not only significantly support the production of this podcast, but you'll also get ad-free episodes in addition to them being early. Go to patreon.com/threesacrime podcast. For pictures, videos, and links related to this episode, be sure to check out our Instagram at threesacrime. And for more information, go to threesacrime.com.